There they go into the back. The blue line on. We have a race, and Satnova's beaten Pure Steel out by a length and a half.
Welcome to Talking Trots, hosted by Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
The sensational Sydney sider, Seals to Sam, comes off the back straight. He's a bucket load of alliteration, this fellow.
Scott Bomber Hill will join the boys to look at the Friday night meeting at Gloucester Park.
Here comes Quinny. I'm the mighty Queen is 4 deep and letting go.
Sit back and enjoy Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
I'm the mighty Queen is just in front. Dasher VC can do no more. And the West Australian champion has done it again.
Hello and welcome to Talking Trots. We're back for another week and we are back, Morts. It's only just had a couple of technical difficulties, and but we're ready to go, and a big show coming up. It's been a couple of weeks, Morts, but we're back. Greg Bond's going to come on and talk about his horses in Friday night, as well as the feature races coming up, and we'll discuss the feature races from the last couple of weeks, including the WA record at Pinjarra on Monday, Morts.
Yeah, that was a great 149. That was a very, very sharp time. It was good, very intriguing. Great to be back again, Michael, after a very short let-up. Now, we normally go pretty well fresh, so hopefully...
Speak for yourself.
So looking forward to a big show where hopefully we can find our listener, singular, not a few winners, compliments of Bomber and Ollie. Last Friday night at Gloucester Park, Gatecrasher got the lead and was just too good. Easy win to kick the punters off. Bit of an early burn by Alfredi, which left Class and Smart 1 by 1. Had to dig deep, but won. Princess Katie, that was a big win.
Yeah, we actually watched it on the grass together.
We did. Had to fight hard after being tackled late by Hunt the Magic for the very powerful Michael Young stable. Major Freeway got the lead and was tackled by Chasing Hill, but he fought back well to win.
Yep.
Soho Santorini, that was a great drive by Emily Savelko. Just rated it beautifully and drove it out well to the line.
Does Kim get mentioned for a double because he had a double on the same night at different tracks?
Very technical, but very good point.
Considering you back one of them?
Yeah, accidentally too, but I'll take it. Certainly take it. Mickey Windermere, that drew the river and stepped around some interference, then was sent around to the breeze. It was a good win. Wishing Bell, that was a great drive by Trent.
Yeah.
Really good drive, and that was very strong win.
Your man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our man.
Now, did you see that Nicky's son won the trot? Geez, a lot of those horses weren't up on the gate at release time. It seems to be happening a lot more, Michael. Horses not up on the gate, and Montana DJ was too good. That was a good win, and Cyclone Geordie. Junior was like a statue.
He's a good horse.
Down the straight, wasn't he?
He's a tank.
Great. I mean, he's a very exciting horse, but Junior did not move a muscle down the straight whilst they were all frantically trying to urge their charges on behind him. So there was a couple of good standouts there Friday night. Training double to Aiden DeCampo and a training double to the very powerful Michael Young stable. Driving double to Chris Lewis. Still got it, Chris.
Hasn't he?
Yeah, still racked up a couple. And 3 to Gary Hall Jr. Also Friday night at Narrogin. Some good racing down there. There was a training double to Hayden Reeves. Driving double to Abby Vidovich. A driving double to Corey Peterson. And a driving double to Hayden Charles as well. Monday at Pinjarra, a training double to the very powerful Michael Young stable, which means there's a double to Junior.
Yep.
And Tuesday at Gloucester Park, we had a training double to Team Bond and driving double to Denny Roberts. So it was a busy week. Some of the racing Monday at Pinjarra was good.
Yeah, very good.
Some very good racing down there, some good fields. A couple of upsets. There was a few very short price ones earlier on in the card, but there was quite a few upsets in the last few.
We had a winner, Trots in, blaze away. Got
Very
the cash.
good.
He was back to his best. Good run. Had to work early and got to the front. He's in the final Friday week.
It was a nice 2-year-old, and since the change of environment,
He's
seems
got plenty of speed, and hopefully he picks up one of these finals.
Yeah, no, he did. It was a good win. So there was some great. And Steno got nabbed as well. So
yes, it sort of just pegs those horses that just sniped on the on the back for both races.
Yes, but no,
got to be good enough to win though.
Yes, and it was a fantastic day down there at Pinjarra for one of their big days.
Yep, sure was. And one of our guests tonight looked like he was going to get the cash in the main race with Minstrel, but in the end, San Real was just a little bit too good in the end. Yeah,
it was a difficult race for Denny, because if she doesn't,
100%.
If she's not aggressive enough, then Magnificent Storm wins.
Yep.
But she really, she kept him honest, and Magnificent Storm, what a great run.
Super performance first up.
Enormous.
Amazing training performance.
It was
from Ray,
and a good driving performance from Aldo.
Yeah.
And Denny just put it to him, and then of course just got sniped on the line by a very ecstatic vote train. So congratulations to them. Went sub 150, so got the extra $10,000 bonus as well.
Well, our guest tonight is going to be a main player in a number of races tomorrow night at Gloucester Park, including the feature event, the 2-year-old Champagne Classic, and he has the regally named Chugach. As we go back to he's at 2 out of 2. Let's have a listen to his last start win.
Coming around the home turn, Chugach has raced up on the outside and put the nose in front of She's Supercharged. In third place is Ike's Got the Mic, getting to the outside and running on in the straight. Chugach in front. Ike's Got the Mic is trying hard. Chugach is in front though, holding Ike's Got the Mic. Chugach the leader. Ike's Got the Mic can't get there, and Chugach goes home to win by 2.5 metres to Ike's Got the Mic. 6 metres She's Supercharged, and they race.
One of Chugach's co-trainers, Greg Bond, joins us on the line. Bondy, welcome to the program.
Good evening, the dynamic duo. How are we, eh?
I don't know whether we've been called that before, Bondy, so we'll take what we can get.
Yeah, well, you probably would have been called worse over the journey, so you'd take that, I reckon.
No doubt. We have. Coming into the Champagne Classic, Bondy and Chugach, I think that's how he's pronounced. Got a real hope in this 2-year-old race.
Yeah, he's quite a progressive little horse. He's probably he's still a bit high in the rump, so he's got a bit of maturing to do. And we thought we were going to tip him out after Tuesday's run, but with that race being on, we thought we'd just keep him ticking over and see what it looked like. And we're quite happy with it's a low numbers race, and it's got a little bit of depth. But yeah, I think he's a serious player in that race for sure.
The field's down to 5 now with Miss Red Velvet out. The horse on the outside of your Wishing Bell for Aidan DeCampo. That was a really good win last start, driven by Trent Wheeler. Just drawn outside you there on 5. Plan to try and get out and Chugach and get to the lead, Bondy?
We'd like to think that's be plan A. Chugach is continues to just get better and better manners wise, so we'll probably look to try and run him off the arm this week. And Wishing Bell looks to be a very nice horse though. So but yeah, we'll just Denny can handle that situation out there, and if he's got the necessary gate speed to hold that horse, and that's what we'll endeavour to do for sure, and put him right in the firing line.
And he's one you've bred, yourself and the running camel.
Yep, yeah, it's he's out of that good mare we had years ago, Jungle Jewel, and it was a really nice mare. She won us over 200, and I thought she'd be a real good brood mare, being a Mach 3. I don't mind them, but she hasn't done much of a job to date, so I'm hoping this little fella's going to be the one to turn it all around.
And win, lose or draw out to the paddock after Friday?
Yep. Yeah, we'll give him probably a good month off Morts, and then he's paid up for the Pearl and Diamond. So we'll look to bring him back down that path, and then all being well, hopefully the Westbred series as well.
Very good. And race 1, you're in another very good race as well, with plenty of chances in this field.
How good's this race?
This is interesting conditions of the race, but you certainly got some very good talent around you there, Bondy. 2 runs back have both finished up behind It's Mar Time, which has gone on and done very well. where do you see yourself in this map here, Bondi, given the talent around?
I was hoping you might tell me, Mort. Yeah, look, she's really nice filly, this one. Been very, very happy with her all the way through. She has been a bit of a work in progress, but she appears to have, manners-wise and a few things like that, appears to be turning the corner every time we put her in the bike. So is definitely a winnable race for her, but as you said, it's a great race. Raynette was, you would argue, well, I wouldn't think it's too big an argument. She would have been the leading 2-year-old filly in WA last year. So she's going to prove very, very hard to beat from barrier 2. And then, it's Martime, obviously, has been taken all before her, and Quintessessa faking it. And then, there's others down drawn underneath us that have got great form. So it's actually, Probably from a racing point of view, probably one of the most competitive races on the program.
No, very good. It's a great way to start the carnival, and as you said, the 3-year-old fillies, there's a number of these you'd think would progress through to like the West Bred and then the Oaks later in the year.
Yeah. We think Delulu's got the ability to be an Oaks horse, and I'm sure connections of other horses in this race probably view their fillies in the same vein.
All right. In race number 3, we get to see a few good 4-year-old horses go around, including Wave Rider and Menemshah, and you've got the Little Master going around who's been really consistent this time in. Yeah. We missed a fair bit of his 3-year-old campaign. He had some soreness that we just... there was X-rays showed nothing, scans showed nothing, but the horse wasn't right. So we lost him for the majority of his 3-year-old season, which was disappointing because we thought he was one horse that would have a real good season. So anyway, that's cleared itself up just on its own. And yeah, since he's come back to racing, he's been racing in great form. This is a tricky race, tricky barrier for him. Generally, we've been not using him off the arm and as a rule of thumb, and sitting him up. And I'd suggest tomorrow night's probably going to be the same scenario. He's been finding the line quite generously, and he's probably again just an each way chance, maybe more a place chance. But if things panned out for him in the race, he's definitely one that could take advantage of a hot speed.
Yeah, certainly. It certainly is another competitive race as well, and all of the main chances appear to be on your outside. But like you said, he's been really consistent. Certainly wouldn't surprise seeing him run into a place, or if not even winning the race. So another competitive.
Actually, Bondi, your first 2 runners, Mort's has got a strong connection. He's the Delulu's out of Smart by Design. Mort had.
Okay.
JL,
correct.
By Post. Well, and Little Masters by Anna Fay, who Mort's broke your record in buying the colt out of Anna Fay by American Ideal last year.
Don't remind me. It's still paying it off.
I'm sure you're very happy with that, Mort.
Yeah, still paying it off, Bondi, but that's okay. That's okay. Now, Bondi, you've only got half the field in race 4.
Yeah, where do you want to start?
Yeah, so look, obviously Tenzing Bromac, very, very hard to go past. I think Denny, thought it was possibly her best chance of the night. You've got the old fella Galactic Star there in 2, Tenzing in 3, Mighty Conqueror in 6, and Steal the Show first up out there in 7. Tenzing Bromac be hard to beat?
Yeah, tossed around with running him on Monday in the Mount Eden, and I probably thought, well, he hasn't beaten Minstrel home too much lately, so we'll just go with one bullet there. And sort of this race on Friday night was a $1 last 5 race. And whilst Tenzing Bromac's been racing well, he was over in Sydney in the Inter-Dominion series, and so his dollars were down a little bit. We thought we'd probably draw okay, so I elected to go down this path. They did actually split this race, but didn't split our horses, unfortunately. It would have been nice to get one or two in the other. But, Little Galactic Star, this will be his last start, and we're going to retire him after tomorrow night. Not for any other reason than really he's a 12-year-old, and on his rating, he gets into this race with the dollars last 5 from a decent barrier, but as a rule of thumb, that 118, 119, 120, he'll just continue to draw wide, and we feel he's done a super job for us over the years, so he deserves a spell. So he'll go around tomorrow night, and that'll be him done. But I'd like to think Tenzing Bromack could definitely be the testing material on this. Mighty Conqueror. Thought his run was great first up after a long break. He'll probably strip that little bit fitter again, so he's definitely a horse that can finish in the top 3. And still to show, he's actually working quite nice at home. The barrier draw probably means he might be a bit far off them, but he'll find the line generously as well.
Yeah, a couple of other interesting runners in there. Talks Up a Storm, gets out quick, and Magnificent on its night is magnificent, but can mix it up a bit. So, and Galactic Star, he really has been a great horse for you over the journey.
Fair to say, one of your favourites, Bondi.
Yeah, well, yeah, mate. Yeah, he's probably won north of 800, never won a Group 1. You know, that probably tells you something about his consistency, and he's won a couple of Inter-Dominion heats for us, and so those horses don't come along very often, but the fact that he's just such a sound little horse still, and loves his work. You know, you take him out and put him in the Pensbury and give him a gallop, it's head between the chest and off we go. So, but yeah, look, if we sort of had races, horses like him could drop back into, just to maybe keep ticking them over, we'd look at it, but that's not the case. And as I said, he's done enough, and he's a beautiful horse to ride, and so we'll definitely make sure he's a life member, so he'll get looked after well.
Yes, you certainly wouldn't mind a stable full of horses like him. Tick over 800 without winning a Group 1. That's
he's very close a couple of times.
Yeah, amazing result.
Yeah, I think he might have run second in a Fremantle Cup a couple of times, actually. I think, that. But yeah, no, he's been knocked on the door. But yeah, no, he made 2 Inter-Dominion finals, so not too many horses come along that do that for you.
And in race number 6, Bondi, once again you're in what's a very even field here. Some nicely performed horses. You've got Belly Up, who was held up first up, and then ran second again at its last start. And Prince of Pain out there in 6. Of course, Belly Up won the was it the
Sales
West
Classic?
Bred, the Sales Classic,
3-year-old Sales Classic.
Yep, Sales Bred.
No, he actually won the Westbred.
Westbred, did he?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
How do you see this one playing out, Bondi?
Yeah, well, both Wicked Hustler and Belly Up are both 3-year-olds, so they're racing against the older horses. It was the only really race for them on the program that they sort of slotted into. Look, Belly Up's come back he was a bit wayward. He can still be a little bit, but he's a lot better now. So I expect to see him run a strong race here. Prince of Pain, he was solid first up. Probably look after him early and let him find the line and wait till he draws a barrier, because he has got fairly good gate speed. We'll use that, but he's working along good too. But I would think my watch list, if he's anywhere near his best on what form he showed when he last raced, he's probably the one. He's probably the winner. But expect Belly Up definitely to be in the firing line, and Prince of Pain shouldn't be too far away from them either.
Yeah, no, agree. So, based on that, it sounds like you're leaning towards Tenzing Bromack being the best of your chances tomorrow night?
Yeah, you would think so, and I'm expecting, solid performances from most of the horses, but probably Chugach and Delulu are 2 that shouldn't be too far away either.
All right, we're only about 5 weeks away from the Nullarbor Bondi.
Yep.
Tell you what, that's probably, we only had 3 runners announced, but already it's probably the strongest Nullarbor we've seen, with those 3 interstate horses plus the inclusions of our WA horses. We've got, I think, the reigning champion of just about every iconic race in Australasia going to be here in WA. Minstrel, he obviously looks like he'll get a slot. And I suppose you're hoping for a slot with one of your other runners, He's a Sport?
Yeah, we've got we've sort of put some feelers out. There's a bit of bait out there, but nothing's biting at the moment, unfortunately. But there's probably bit of water to flow under the bridge yet.
Yeah.
Minstrel will definitely be the team bond slot as we speak, we'll just sort of, as I said, put some feelers out for He's a Sport. He's ready to return. He'll have a good hit out tomorrow morning, and we'll either run him next Friday or go the Friday after and have one, maybe two runs. And if we can't get into the Nullarbor, I think they ran a free-for-all on the Friday night of the Nullarbor last year, so with a few emergencies for the Nullarbor, and then he'd go into the Fremantle Cup anyway if he misses out on a run in the Nullarbor. So all is not lost if he doesn't get a run, but I think he'd be a horse that'd be more than capable of being in a field like that.
Geez, it's shaping as one of the great races here in WA for quite some time, like an Inter Dominion with Swayze, Catch Your Waves coming back, and Don Hugo, hasn't he just continued that? The Eureka Miracle Mile form and the Inter Dominion form looks pretty good.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, Don Hugo, we were stable with Luke when we were over there, and he's a lovely animal, Luke's driven him millimetre perfect in those big races. He's just timed it perfectly and had the horse ready to go as well, and driven it to a tee. So, mate, it's if we don't get a few people down there on albeit Anzac Day for that race, I'd be very surprised. It's going to be a cracker.
No, sure will. Bondi, really appreciate you taking the time to speak to us this week, and we'll see you at the track.
All right, boys. Have a good night. Thank you.
There you go, Greg Bond.
One of the best.
Yep, part of Team Bond with Sky, and geez,
they do a great job together.
I reckon they've got plenty of horses ready to resume in the next couple of weeks.
Yep.
But haven't they got some 4-year-olds?
Yeah.
Free for allers.
They've just got no shortage of horses there, that's for sure. They just keep churning them through, and of course Minstrel, the number one seed.
Yeah, and I forgot to ask him, but the Inter Dominion was released during the week.
Yes.
That's coming up. And
bit of a kicker in the prize money there.
Yeah, up to $1 million, which is really good for the industry as a whole. It's going to be run, the grand final, on July 19. There's 2 heats leading into it, Saturday, July 5, and then Saturday, July 12. And obviously the $1 million. There's also trotters as well, half a million for the trotters. They get a parallel. Interesting, the Rising Sun winner gets into the GF and
of the Inter
Dominion.
Okay.
But unlike Victoria, where I think it was Shaker Maker when he won in 2000. He won a Victoria Cup, and he only had to race in like one other race to get through, and everyone else was going through. There was like 5 weeks of heats. It was drawn out. The winner of the Rising Sun will have to race in the Kevin Thomas, the KJ Thomas,
right?
Which is a 4-year-old classic on the same night of the second round of heats. So you've got to run the same amount of races as the others, but you get in. To the
just
final. And you need to be a 4-year-old as well. So, correct. But good to see the Intermediate, and I think it's a really good time slot in July. Be really interesting to see whether WA horses go over. I know Minstrel went over and performed really well, but tell you what, it's a strong year to go over.
Oh, look, you're going to be facing
Leap to Fame on his home
track.
On
his home track, which makes it
Swayze, Don Hugo. You'd imagine, Crean will go over with Republican Party, and you'll get a few others, and Mark will go over with a team.
Yeah, I would have thought the fact they're only 40k heats, getting somebody from WA is going to be challenging.
Maybe, but the $1 million final might be a little bit different. And interesting enough, Michael Brennan's relocated to Queensland, and Penny Tiger's on his way over. You could see might be a pseudo representative.
Yeah, could be
through Penny Tiger. But great to see the Inter Dominion back and at $1 million.
Oh, that was great to hear.
And I think it's a great spot in that Queensland Winter Carnival in July, which means the Black's Fate comes out. It sort of goes to the end of the year. Ra was just released our dates for our feature races. If you go to Racing WA, their website.
We're talking Pacing Cup?
Pacing Cup, yeah. Yep. So it's December 12th, the second week of December. And our 4-year-olds and our open races swap. So Golden Nugget goes into November.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So with the Retrovision Golden Nugget.
Yes, thank you, Michael.
Goes into November.
Yep.
And I think it's the 7th. And then and then the 2 lead-up races to that before it, obviously the
Right,
4-year-old Classic and the 4-year-old Championship, and then the Brendan Stratton move into the lead-up races into the Pacing Cup, which I think is a much better flow for our races, and we get to see those 4-year-old horses graduate into our cups.
Yep.
So and Italian Retro Vision Golden Nugget will be on Italian night.
Oh, that'd be good.
So
I like that.
Yeah,
it's always a massive night.
It's going to be really good. But I just now the Inter-Dominions out of that slot, we're allowed to do that. And the other good thing is the flight over for the Pinnacles. The harness horses can jump on and race in the Stratton into the Pacing Cup, and you've also got the Navy Cup in between that. So it's going to give every chance. So now before our 2 big feature race, our big cups, so the Nullarbor and Fremantle Cup, there's a flight over getting horses, and now the Pacing Cup
be the same.
Is going to be the same. So we've got flights over. So which has been our biggest issue, getting horses over here. There's been plenty of horses that have want to come over. They just can't get over here.
Yeah, we know that.
And you know how hard
Can
it is
be
getting
very
back. Getting back. It's
very
not so much going back the other way. It's coming
here. Yep.
Yeah. So I think that's great news, Morts.
Certainly is. Now, Nullarbor, so we've still just got the 3.
Only the 3 announced.
And I mean, when we say only the 3,
what a 3. You got the New Zealand Cup winner, Hunter Cup winner in Swayze.
Yeah.
You've got the Eureka Inter-Dominion Miracle Mile winner in Don Hugo.
Yep.
And then you got the defending champion Fremantle Cup winner in Catch a Wave. Like virtually all the iconic races in Australia are covered as far as defending champions coming over. It's
certainly are.
One hell of a race it's going to be. And when it was announced that Don Hugo's going to Cambridge to race in their slot race, there was obviously social media out there. He's now not coming to the Nullarbor, and
he's definitely locked in.
Oh, I spoke to Luke, messaged Luke and said, "You've caused us, sir." He said, "We're coming." We're coming.
That's great.
And Adam this morning on the breakfast show reiterated that when he spoke to Luke as well. So Luke's been planning this raid to come over for quite some time. I remember speaking to him before the Inter-Dominion and said, we're coming over to April. We think we've got a slot. We're coming over. So
I'm looking forward to it, particularly when it's always good when the Eastern Staters come over here, because it is a different track to what they're used to racing on, and our drivers aren't as courteous.
No, they're not.
And I mean that respectfully. I mean, they don't.
No, they are.
They don't.
It's a different style of racing. And
they don't just hand up.
We push out differently and all that sort of stuff. So it's fantastic. And these 3, and then obviously Greg Bond then said Minstrel's going to be their slot holder. I think you can take it as read as Mr. Smarty's going to be the Steve Waters, Gary Hall Senior slot.
And just reading on the Harness website, they were. Senior was saying that they're going to bring him forward a week. Mr. Smarty's going that well, doing too well. So,
so he's ready to rock and roll, not too far away.
If he improves on where he left off, he's going to be frightening.
We've got Mighty Ronaldo tomorrow night. Obviously, he's in line for a JP pacing slot, never ending. Has got the Ladbroke spot has got the first rider refusal.
Correct. Yep.
Ready to go.
Yep.
How's he? Is he far away?
I'll be talking to the trainer tomorrow, Michael. So I like to leave it all on the Friday. So normally when Justin jumps in the truck, I get an update on all horses. So, we've got Mighty Ronaldo going round tomorrow night. So looking forward to that.
Yeah. No, geez, he never misses a big race. Like
he's a big race specialist,
isn't he?
He just loves it,
isn't he? He just, the better the class, the better he performs,
and the longer the distance too. Yeah. No, he does. He really enjoys it.
And Magnificent Storm.
He was
what
great.
A return.
He was great, and
obviously Regency their slot. So then, there's a few up in the air. Kevin Jevons has got a slot with a swing band, and Wave Ride actually steps up. There's a discussion there. We've got
tomorrow night's the test for Wave Rider.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's
he's got to beat that field.
Correct. If they think he's any chance, he must beat that field. Yeah. So, not sure. I haven't seen swing band.
No, I'm not sure. He wasn't there, so it'll be interesting to see whether he goes to the Bunbury Cup.
Yep.
No, they've had a few little issues with him. Ryan's hasn't shied away from saying that. So,
So there's that slot. You would imagine Regency would...
Regency Magnificent Storm.
Yep.
Swandu is a question mark at the moment.
Yep.
Rams is with obviously Catch a Wave.
No, it's looking certainly going to be the best ever.
Yes, just already.
Nullarbor we've had. So, and just having Magnificent Storm and the comeback and the way he performed Monday was just great to see. So he'll be back. Just a couple of things.
Yes.
See there, a piece from Adam Hamilton around the removing of the sprint lanes from Hoosier Park.
Yes, yeah.
That's interesting.
Gabe Pruitt's in there now as their
That's interesting.
as their operations manager, I think, or racing manager. I think over there they're starting to go that way in America now, taking out the sprint lanes.
And so Adam suggested that, it's probably a good time to have a conversation around it.
They were supposed to trial it at Melton, and they never end up doing it. They did a trial where they extended it. They were supposed to do another trial with actually removing it, and never actually went forward. So that'll be interesting. Ballarat's a great track in Victoria. It's one of the best, and they don't have a sprint lane.
Yeah. What's your...
I don't like. It depends what track. To tell you the truth, the track that probably needs it the most is Menangle. Like everyone says, it's got a long straight. The ones on the pegs don't get a crack at them as much. You saw Swayze in Miracle Mile. It's those tracks where they don't drift as much that really need them. You see, like Gloucester Park, best place to be is on the pegs. So many big races are won from
being on the
pegs, and even at Pinjarra, they didn't actually use the sprint lane to beat the other horses.
Yeah,
Senreal came around them, so did Nullarbor Navajo.
Yeah, yeah.
So, look, I think it's probably better racing without it, and you don't just create this handover kick and sit and kick.
You know my feelings on them.
Yep.
So just be good to good to see new lights at Redcliffe to light the place up. They look great.
Yeah,
so that was good. And Tasmanian Cup on Saturday night.
Yeah, actually, a few horses going around. Leap to Fame goes around Albion Park.
Correct.
And Don Hugo goes around at Menangle.
So some big racing this weekend.
Yeah, looking forward to it, Morts.
And tomorrow, Michael, my man Trent Wheeler on Tab Radio with the boys. So
beautiful.
On the Retrovision Gloucester Park preview.
Driving well.
Trent driving very well, and I'll tell you what, he's got some good drives tomorrow night.
Now he's taking a drives for you, Morts.
Mickey, always been a
Rolling Fire.
Always been a Trent Wheeler fan.
Yep.
Does a good job. Got some, and he does have some very good drives on Friday night at Gloucester Park.
Now this segment, Mort, is brought to you by Retrovision. You don't need to look at any.
No, I do, Michael.
Do you?
But yeah, I do.
Your local WA electrical appliance specialist, where RAC members receive an additional 5% every day. What have you got for us?
From 6 p.m. tonight.
6 p.m. Okay.
Which
we're going to be up later by then, or pretty close.
6 p.m.
If we can, we've had technical issues, so there's a bead of sweat coming down Ray's.
10% off store-wide.
10%.
10% plus if you're an RAC member, get the additional 5. Now, that only goes until midnight on Sunday. So from 6 p.m. tonight through to Sunday midnight, 10% plus an additional 5 for RAC members. So get into your local Retrovision store, Michael.
Can't ask for more than that.
No. Few exclusions apply as per normal, but... get into your local Retrovision store.
Now, we got the awards Saturday night, Morts. First time you haven't been nominated in years. I can't remember the last time you didn't have a horse nominated.
No, there is some very good nominations there too, Michael.
Some very good.
Really good nominations.
And this year, I think really hard to pick most of them.
Normally, you look at you go, that horse will win.
Exactly.
Or that horse will win. But you can
they're
look
$1.20, $1.30 to win the award. This year, there's a couple,
really open, which is great.
Yeah,
everybody, you've got a horse, you're going to go there with some expectation. So
and also Hall of Fame as well.
Yeah.
So they've combined it this year. So
you being inducted this year, Michael?
I won't be there. So everyone can have fun, and that sort of
Yeah.
not a chance. Mort, she'll
So whereabouts is that? Is it?
I'm not too sure because I'm not going. I think it's is it the Crown?
Crown. Okay, sure. It's always a good night.
I'm told it's sold out.
Oh, terrific!
So
that's good.
It's a capacity.
That's good. Very good.
There we go. Now, before we go, Morts.
Yep.
The sales were on. Have we been back on since the sales? I'm not too sure.
No.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
No. The big Bawana's shaking
now,
his head. So.
we've actually got the Sales Classic picture, the trophy in here.
Oh, of course, we haven't been here
which was won by, the Colts and Geldings was won by Ideal Beach. 2-year-old Classic, who was part owned by Morts and Ross and the team, and also Trots.
Yeah, it was great.
It was great. If you can't beat them, join them, I say.
Tell you what, Michael, we're lucky it's a wide track here at Gloucester Park because the lens on the camera had to be wide to get everybody in. It was fantastic to see so many people there.
Yeah, and we had a function upstairs for everyone.
Everyone was happy. The winners are grinners, of course, but no, it was a terrific night, and it was great to see so many owners being a part of it.
Yes.
Whatever part it might be.
No, it was
just
fantastic.
Being a part of it.
Just like
time.
people just coming from everywhere who...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's probably a few that had nothing to do with the horse, but they thought, we'll get out there.
Out there. Or owned a very small percentage with a friend and all that sort of stuff.
Very good.
But we butted up. We went to the sales with you, Morts. Was sitting next to you at the sales with Justin.
It was an interesting sale.
Wasn't it?
Very interesting.
Wasn't it? A lot. We didn't get near the record. We didn't break the record. I think it was
135, I think.
35, Aiden.
Yeah, Aiden's team, yep.
But there was a lot in around that 100 because it seemed that type of sale where there was going to be a better spread of money. The average wasn't far below, and the like $1,000, which is actually pretty good in this economy.
I would have thought
and the clearance rate was down, but there was a lot of horses. I think
180 odd.
Yeah, something like that. So
the
clearance rate was always going to be down. So overall, I think it was a pretty positive sale for everyone. But we went there. We butted up Morts for Trots in.
It was a very long day.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, too long.
Yeah. And we bought the full brother to Ideal Beach for Trots in.
Yeah, that was great.
And Justin was really happy. Justin actually said to me, he said, every time I see him, I like him more, which is a really good positive. So we're syndicating the full brother, Ideal Beach, American Ideal out of Coopers Beach. And we're selling 5% shares, only 4 shares left, Morts.
I'm not surprised, Michael. Not surprised. Full brother to the sales.
He's a lovely looking colt as well.
And we know that Coopers Beach is a producer.
100% producer.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's there's no guarantees in life, but I tell you what,
it helps.
Yes.
And now, man, Randy's eye over it and put his hand up, which helps.
All that matters.
$4,950 for a 5% share. Now, that's all inclusive for the first 12 months.
I was going to say that includes.
So break-in, training, all that sort of stuff,
Terrific.
Transport, naming, paying up for all the series as well. So we paid up for the Pearl, paid up for the Sales Classic, and obviously his Westbred. So with only a couple of shares left. So email us at info@gloucesterpark.com.au. And we also bought a filly, and I really like this filly.
The Sweet Lou filly?
Sweet Lou Artistic Gal. And we got her at the price we wanted as well. Now
Spot on to the dollar.
40,000 exactly. Now she's 3,900 for 5% share. As I said,
inclusive.
Yeah, inclusive. First 12 months, and that includes the diamond payout, the Sales Classic, and obviously Westbred. And Justin's pretty keen. Sweet Lou, like what a super sire he is. He just continues.
Certainly is, and I've got to tell you, the Trots and brethren, they love the Sweet Lou's.
Yep. Now, and just to give you like Sweet Lou, last year the Globe Derby Awards, leading juvenile sire of Pacer by Stakes, leading 2-year-old sire of Pacer by Stakes, leading 3-year-old sire pacing by Stakes, leading 3-year-old sire Pacers by Winners. Like he's just an absolute superstar as a sire of Sweet Lou, and Justin really likes an athletic filly, and he can train a filly, our man.
He can, and he can find them at the sales. One thing he is very good at. So
there we go. So
not a lot of shares. What'd you say? Four?
I think four in the colt, and only about 6 in the filly.
6 in the filly.
So a lot of our members have come back in and butted up, but it'd be great to have new members, and got a few new members as well. Peter O'Neill's back in. He was part of our...
Yeah, he's hooked now.
He was part of the Ideal Beach and Perfect Nicky.
He was a very happy man on final night. It was good to see.
No, it's good. So really happy that once again we've butted up and reinvesting in the industry and bringing new owners, a heap of new owners in the last two we've had, and again we've had a couple of new owners come into this, which is really good, which is what it's all about.
It certainly is.
All right, Mort, it's time to take a break.
Oh, goodness, Michael.
Oh, indeed. All right. What a racing it was at Pinjarra. We've spoken about it a few times, Morts.
Oh, it was a great day. Yeah. Really good day.
Let's listen to the new WA state record holder for the short course, Senrial, and his win in the Mount Eden Sprint.
50 metres, and it's Magnificent Storm giving plenty over Minstrel. Sangway Real getting to the outside. Otis a length away fourth, and then comes High Price. Magnificent Storm is pulling out plenty. Minstrel is trying. Sangway Real on the outside. Otis along the tab touch sprint lane. It's Magnificent Storm, Minstrel, and Sangway Real over the top. Folks got them. Sangway Real upsets Minstrel, and a good run from the return.
There's always a lot more in store for you at Retrovision, like Retrovision's lowest price guarantee. If you find a lower price on a same-stocked item, we'll beat it. There's our 60-day price promise, where we'll refund you 120% of the difference if you find a lower advertised price on any purchase. Plus, RAC members save an extra 5% every day of the year. After 60 years, a lot has changed, but there's still a lot more in store at Retrovision.
You are listening to Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
Lord Titanium, Medieval Man, back behind them Navy Street, over on the pegs Prince of Pain. 29.3 the next quarter. Cyclone Geordie comes into the home straight, leading by a metre. To Acuto trying hard. Lord Titanium is coming up on the outside, trying to grab second, and probably will. But Cyclone Geordie well clear over Lord Titanium and Acuto, and hard held Cyclone Geordie won well. Lord Titanium, Acuto, and fourth home Navy Street.
Bit arrogant there, Morts.
Oh. Yeah,
he's a lovely horse, isn't he?
Certainly is. And
didn't the last time Hawley come on when I was here? I missed the previous one.
Oh, was that the 3.5 hour show?
Didn't he bag Art Major? He's by Art Major out of Cyclone Kate, very well related.
Yep.
Which makes him a half to Cyclone Charlotte, who was raced by Ray Williams and the team, and Robbie Tomlinson and Damien Keating, and now Bob Fowler's got Cyclone Charlotte for breeding.
Oh, very good.
So Cyclone Geordie, so well related.
Yeah, no, he goes very well, that's for sure. And armchair ride so far for Gary Hall Jr.
Yeah, he's a very nice horse, and he'll be going on to bigger and better things. A couple of runs, I think I heard Hawley today with Tim and Digby, and then getting set for the Derby later.
Derby, yeah.
All right. Now, this segment, Morts, is brought to you by Steel Blue Boots. Built for comfort, made for work, and they're well over 700 stockists nationwide, Morts. And I saw one Jay Prentice picking up a couple of boxes from Gloucester Park reception on Friday night. So
a couple of pairs of the Steel Blues.
Must have been our mate Ross Fitzgerald must have dropped off a couple of pairs for the team.
Well, if you're going to wear anything to work, Michael,
exactly.
Steel Blue boots, as we know, they are built for comfort, made for work, and a mark of true skill, which is something which our trainer has a fair bit of. So designed for comfort, durability and choice, backed by a 30-day 100% comfort guarantee.
All right, we got 9 races on Friday night at Gloucester Park, the first at 5:55, and a big welcome back to the program, Scott Bomber Hill. Bomber, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Red. It's good to be back.
Yes, it's good to have you back. It's good. We almost weren't here, but we're all here ready to go. And just having a look, I think when I looked at our tipping contest, Bomber, you were on top last time I checked, and yes, going into the round 3 for the NRL, or round 2 technically, I suppose. You're leading us a merry dance.
Yeah, it doesn't say much for the rest of you, Rad, that's for sure.
You are.
Had a good first round, and then a bit average after that.
You're equal top. I'm only one behind you, so. But good, you've tipped the Knights 2 in a row. Unlike my man Sully.
Go 3 in a row this week too, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Sally's potting my Knights.
Why is that?
I don't know.
He's still got his Ponga still there?
Yeah, and he's been touching them up. So, but Sully
He's pretty handy.
Sully goes for St George, so you just can't help some people. All right.
Now, talking about the tipping competition, I'm very happy to say
AFL?
that I'm on the bottom.
The AFL?
Oh, the AFL, yeah.
The marathon, not a sprint, Morts. You got plenty of time.
Yeah, I know, but I barrack for Essendon and I'm stupid because I keep tipping them, Bomber. And I have again this week. Surely.
Bet with a heart. Bet with the head, not the heart.
Yeah,
That's the secret.
Very hard to do. Very hard to do.
Yeah, anyway. All right, let's get into our tips and see if we can find our listener a winner or two. And we got to start off with race number 4. Now, this is the Varley Darren Kinnamont pace, and Darren is a member of Gloucester Park, but also an owner with a really important owner for Aidan De Campo, and was a great owner for Aidan, was in a lot of his horses, and everything he bought at the yearling sales would go in, and he's in Wishing Bell in Friday night's gold bracelet, and we'll be getting a tip-off Bomber in the gold bracelet, but good luck to Aidan and the team. I know it's a really tough time for everyone because it was an accident where Darren passed away, but our thoughts were for Darren and his family and Aidan and the entire team, because really good bloke Darren, who poured plenty into racing and just really loved it.
Yep. No, certainly, Michael, and echo those thoughts, and it'll be tough, but thoughts to the family, the team, and everybody.
Yeah, and the funeral, I think next week at down at Bustleton, where Darren was from. So Aidan and the team, good luck on Friday night with all the runners, and our condolences. Let's have a look, because we've got Aidan's got a chance in the Varley Darren Kinnamont, and we've got the Mickey Taker. Have we look at the Tab Touch markets, and great to have Tab Touch markets on all the races. Mort's still going.
Yes,
really good. They go up on a Thursday morning.
Our show's on, Michael.
All right, the Mickey Taker for Joe Savalco and Aidan De Campo, $15. Galactic Star having his final run. Tom Nelly gets the
honours.
He gets the honours to drive Galactic Star in his final race. $41. Tenzing Bromac, he's the favourite. They put up $1.45. They put up at $1.85 into $1.45, back out to $1.70, back into $1.55. I'm not so sure there was too much
interesting fluctuations.
Not so sure how much trading was going on, but
not a lot.
There was a bit going on. He's $1.55. Tenzing, Magnificent. He's at $10. Talks Up a Storm, $8. Mighty Conqueror, the former Pacing Cup winner, he's $7.50 out to $10. Steal the Show, $16. He's a big drift out to $34. And Mighty Ronaldo, Morts, Gary Hall Jr. drives for Justin Prentice. He's at $4.40. Pretty solid all the way through betting. Bomber, what do you like in this free-for-all?
Yeah, very keen. Tenzing Bromac. Rads, I thought the $1.85 was a crazy price, and he's still value even at the current quote. I think he comes there off an outstanding first-up performance in the Pinjarra Cup. He's had time to get over that, and he'll push to the front. One of the stablemates will go to the breeze, and that should ensure a fairly comfortable lead for him. And I just expect him to run home in 55 and change, and just, the map just makes it very, very hard for him to be beaten. I think I'm pretty keen. As I said, I think the $1.55 still value.
Bomber, unfortunately, I agree with you, and I hope you're wrong. But very hard to see Tenzing Bromac being beaten here. As you said, should get a pretty easy lead, one to the breeze, and they'll roll that last lap, making it very tough for anything else. But race number 4, I can feel a big bet coming on. Race number 4, horse number 3, Tenzing Bromac for Team Bond. What's the staking plan, Bomber?
Yeah, 5 units, Morts. It looks, as I said, just looks a procession to me. I think, lead and win, and snap up the price. I think he'll start much shorter.
I think you're right.
All right. The next race is race number 5, and we're going to look at the Champagne Stakes, our feature race of the night, and it's $50,000. We got the pole marker, My Hard Print, $151. Where's My Halo, $31. Cooper Fine at $9 for Joe Savalco and Aidan De Campo. Chugach at $185 was $2 into $185, and Wishing Bell 160 out to 180, and the sentimental money will be with Wishing Bell, as
Absolutely.
Darren was a part owner in Wishing Bell, and good luck to Aidan and the team. Bomber, are you going for the sentimental victory, or are you going away from it?
No, I obviously won't be too disappointed if we're knocked off, but I thought Chugach, he's 2 from 2 in this short career, and he looked to have plenty in reserve in both, and he gets the barrier draw advantage, so that's the thing that swung me, and, good colt against a good filly. I think we haven't seen his gate speed, so we're not really sure what's there, but I think drawn next door, it's going to be pretty hard for Wishing Bell to get across, and so long as he holds up, I think he'll be winning.
Fascinating race, certainly between the two of them there. Obviously, they'll be looking to lead with Chugach, and Wishing Bell's going to have to do a bit of work. Was terrific last start, Wishing Bell, driven by Trent Wheeler. So, fascinating race and interesting market. Race number 5, horse number 4, Chugach for Team Bond, and Denny Roberts, currently $1.85. What's the staking plan, Bomber?
Yeah, 3 units more. So I think what we've seen, his point-to-point speed, is so long as he can hold up, I think he'll just be too quick for the filly late.
All right, time to take a break, and we are going to go back a week, and it is the gold bracelet, Morts, and it was Wishing Bell, and it was a
great win.
Very emotional win for the team as well, because obviously Darren had the accident and passed away, and you can imagine the emotion of the team.
Absolutely.
Having a runner in a big race. And as we go to the break, let's listen to Wishing Bell and Trent Wheeler getting the cash for Aidan de Campo and the whole team.
Wishing Bell just in front of Miss Red Velvet as they corner, and they're clear from the Sea Siren around the bend. On the inside, Wishing Bell. The outside, Miss Red Velvet won't go away. Wishing Bell got about a metre in front, though, of the Miss Red Velvet, but now it's Wishing Bell opening up. Clear from Miss Red Velvet. In third place, the Sea Siren, but Wishing Bell is doing it well, and Wishing Bell races home to win by 6 metres to Miss Red Velvet. A metre away, the Sea Siren.
New Mazda.
Yep, I love it. We got it from Bayswater Mazda.
I keep hearing great things about them.
They're fantastic to deal with. Great people, great coffee too.
At Bayswater Mazda, you'll always be well looked after. Visit the team today and find the best drive-away deals on new Mazdas and pre-owned vehicles. Driving is better with Bayswater Mazda.
So's the coffee.
Go and see Bayswater Mazda at the corner of Guildford and Garrett Road, Bayswater, DL 25174.
You are listening to Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
On the outside is Penny Black, and then Artie by the Seaside, who would drop to the pegs. Falling back through the field is Wonderful to Fly. Castella de Luck with the inside. Anna Shan Girl the outside, but Steno. On the outside is Nullarbor Navajo, issuing a challenge to Steno, who's responding. Nullarbor Navajo is trying. Steno, Nullarbor Navajo. Nullarbor Navajo's going to create the upset, and Nullarbor Navajo wins the Golden Girls Mile over Steno and Artie by the Seaside.
Yeah, great run. Held the WI record for about an hour or half an hour. Good effort from Corey. Nullarbor Navajo, Corey Peterson and the team.
Yeah, it's a great effort.
Yeah, to get over the top of Steno, who's been the benchmark for mares, along with Artie by the Seaside, to get up and actually knock them off in a big race is a really good effort.
Yeah, it certainly was. It was very well done and a very short-lived record, like you said, Michael, but it was a great day down at Pindara.
Got some good mares, haven't we?
Yeah, we do.
Got some really good mares at the moment.
Certainly do.
Yeah, no surprise that Nullarbor Navajo's got a feature. All right, this segment's brought to you by the Loans 123 Car Loans, Debt Consolidations, all your personal finance. Who do you see, Morts?
The great man, the nude nut, Steve Sell.
At loans123.com.au or 1-800
or 100. And Michael, still doing things the banks can't.
He sure is. He's a great man, great supporter.
Yeah, he's in my speed dial, but hopefully we won't be requiring him this Friday night at Gloucester Park.
We do not. We hopefully we do not. Now, there's another a race named after a member who passed away as well. And it was it's the Valet Peter Bennington, race number 2. I think one of our older members, Peter, He's been a life member for quite some time, and I think he's been a member for something like 50 or 60 years.
I would have thought so, Michael. His son, who I just knew as Benny, we used to meet here at Gloucester Park when he used to work at the SEC, and that would have been 40 years ago, and his dad had been, coming then. So, and even after, his son didn't come, I would come here on a Friday night and always recognised his dad.
Yeah.
And
his dad used to come every
Friday.
week. Yeah,
every Friday.
Until his mid to late 80s.
Yeah.
And then obviously, illness and as he got older, he couldn't make it for the last 4 or 5 years. But
great supporter of harness racing.
Yeah, that sure is. And
our thoughts with the family.
Yeah, our thoughts with the Beddington family, and I believe they're coming out on Friday night.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, so
excellent.
Yeah, it's going to be good to be able to host them.
That's good.
All right, let's have a look at the next race. We're going to have a look at is race number 6, and this is another good race. We spoke to Bondi about it, Morts. Some really nice 4-year-olds going around in this race. Let's have a look. Oh, a couple of really nice horses. Anyway, we've got Torrevive and Amy at $61, Wicked Hustler at $3.30, Alfredi at $51, Allwood Mac at $19, Belly Up is at $2.90. Prince of Pain at $21. My watch list at $2 and favourite was in from $2.60. So it's now favourite. Belly Up was $2.40 out to $2.90. Chillin' is at $34 and a colt named Sue at $1.26. Bomber, this is a pretty good quality race. Which way are we going?
Yeah, and with my watch list, Rads, I've got no doubt he's the best horse in the race. He's obviously first up and from a wide draw, which probably allows us to get on here. I think he was exceptional. His 2 runs prior to a break when beaten by the stablemate down at Pinjarra when they sustained 3 very quick last 3 quarters there, and then he backed that up with a soft win at GP before being tipped out with confidence high. I think he comes here without a trial, which we've taken as a pretty positive sign, and happy to back his class in this race.
How do you see the map in this one, Bomber?
Yeah, I think he'll push forward. There's obviously speed underneath, but have to probably breeze outside of them, Mort.
Yeah, okay, just going to be too good. So race 6, number 7, my watch list for Gary Hall Senior and Gary Hall Junior. Staking plan there, Bomber?
Yeah, 2 units will back his class and juniors to get us home.
All right, there's no doubt in his class. He's obviously had a few injuries, the son of he's watching, but let's hope that they got him back and he's raring to go. All right, and the final race we're going to look at tonight is race number 7, and let's have a look at the Tab Touch market. We got Dat Lovely, $16. Sweet Vivian, $5.50 to $4.40. Remarkable Rock at $51. Push Button Bucket and Rock at $61. Better Get On Pip, $7.50. Alta Allure at $5.50. Hunt the Magic, who looked the winner at one stage.
Certainly did, but Princess Katie did fight back very well.
$13 Hunt the Magic. And you bought a half relation at the sales this year to Hunt the Magic.
Certainly did.
Princess Katie, who was brave.
Very brave.
$3.10, but out to $4. And we got Madam Publisher, the Oaks winner, at $2.20 out to $2.90, but holds the call. This is not a bad race, Bomber. Which way are we going?
Yeah, it is a fair race. There's a few chances, but I just thought at the value, Sweet Vivian was a mare that's always shown plenty of ability, and she comes here first up for the Vogue train at reasonable gate speed, so I think she should be able to bury through and lead, and she's got a good record in front. It's a bit of a speculative tip, obviously, with the form being down, but he's got a good record with them first up, Vogue, so I think she can give us a bit of a side at what is still a little bit of value.
Yeah, you're braver than me, Bomber, tipping into this one. It's a very, very tough race, particularly over the 17:30. But you found a bit of value there in Sweet Vivian for Chris Vogt, of course, who had that big winner on Monday in the sprint. So race number 7, horse number 2, Sweet Vivian for Chris Vogt. What's the staking plan?
Yeah, just 1 unit, as you say. It's a pretty fair race. There's plenty of chances, but I just thought, he's got a good record with them first up, and she's a good enough mare. So, in a night with just a few races with plenty of chances, that was the last one to tip into.
All right, Bomber. No multi this week?
No, a little bit difficult, I think, Brad. So I think we've got at least 2 winners there, hopefully 3 or 4, and I'd finish on the right side.
All right. And any AFL or NRL tips you want to throw out there?
No, as long as Hawthorn beat Carlton and Essendon beat Adelaide, I'll be a happy man. The AFL started really well for me with Carlton, who I absolutely despise, being 41 points up and getting beaten by Richmond, who everyone tipped not to win a game. So
it's fantastic, Bomber.
The season can't get much better, really.
It was absolute bliss watching that, I got to tell you.
Yeah, I just got to get my Knights through this round. If we win, we go into the bye and we'll be unbeaten going into round 5, and I'll just be delirious.
Well, round one was a little bit average, I thought, but they certainly warmed into it.
We were texting Bomber, and it was a tough watch for me.
So the only difference here, Bomber, is that Michael's delirious because his team's winning, and we're excited because another team's getting beaten, which is Carlton.
Yeah, it says a bit about the team we back for, doesn't it?
What's that German word for other people's pain that you... that long German word?
Yeah. Anyway, a very interesting weekend of football. I think there's a couple of good games coming up. And how's my mate going at the West Tigers?
Which one?
Jerome.
Jerome. No, they won. So so they got beat the first round. The Knights beat them.
Yeah,
of course. We played average, but we beat them, and then they came out and they touched Parramatta up. So
which isn't
right.
much, is it?
For my man, no, they're not going good Parramatta at all. And for my man Benji, actually sat at the inaugural Eureka with Benji Marshall. He was one of the ambassadors for the Eureka for the first year, and got to sit next to Benji and his manager and a few others.
It would have made you pretty happy, I would say.
Yeah, no, it was great to chat to him. It was really fun.
Yep.
Good man, Benj. All right, Bomber. Hopefully we found a few winners. We've spoken about rugby league and AFL for a little bit, but mate, good to be back. Hopefully we've found some winners. If we don't, we may not be back next week.
Got to be a winner there somewhere.
Yes.
All right, mate. Thank you for your time. We'll speak to you next week.
Thanks. Have a great night.
All right, Scott Bomber Hill. All right, time to take a break, Morts. And we spoke about the clash last week between Hunt the Magic and Kate.
Yes. It was a big finish. Yeah. Hunt the Magic looked like it had the advantage.
Looked like it
turn.
at the front as well where we were watching.
Yeah.
And then, but no.
Princess Katie, who'd mainly been running on country tracks, got to town and got a winner, which was good.
Yeah,
so
for the
well
very
done.
powerful Michael Young and Gary Hall Jr. combination.
Certainly going well.
As we take a break, let's listen to Princess Katie fighting on just to hold on Hunt the Magic.
Better Have Faith won't run the top 4. Follow My Stride gets into the clear. Around the turn, though. Moving up, Hunt the Magic on the outside. Princess Katie fights hard. They go together, and Chili Punter at the moment not really making the inroads. In the straight, Hunt the Magic the outside. On the inside, Princess Katie. Princess Katie, Hunt the Magic. Then nose for nose. Hunt the Magic. Princess Katie tries to come back. Hunt the Magic with the nose in front of Princess Katie, who's lifting. Hunt the Magic, Princess Katie. Photo nearly a dead heat. Couldn't split them. Third home was Chili Punter.
Hi, I'm Steve Sell from Loans 123. We are car finance specialists. We can help you find the loan you're looking for, your new car, and help find a home for your old one. If you want a new or used car but feel uncomfortable visiting car yards on your own, we can help and often save you money. For a stress-free way of buying and financing your next car, who do you see? Steve Sell at loans123.com.au or call 1800 100 100.
Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
Magnus Victor coming with a good run, coming after Soho Santorini, fighting on Storyteller. I'm a 5-star General. Star Casino to the outside. The rest not really in it at the moment, and scooting away Soho Santorini. Bolted clear now from getting through on the inside. Coming through now is I'm a 5-star General. Magnus Victor and Star Casino, but Soho Santorini all the way for Emily Savalco and wins from I'm a 5-star General. Magnus Victor and Star Casino.
Emily with the drive on Soho Santorini in the I'm the Mighty Quinn $30,000 listed classic, and well supported and
well driven,
and
beautifully rated, and
you didn't attribute Kim a double, so I'm going to attribute him a double. because he also trained one at Narrogin.
He certainly did.
Not that long before that.
Yep.
So a Friday night double for Kimmy.
Friday night double, and it was a very good drive by Emily. She rated the horse beautifully, and when it came time to drive it out to the line, did an excellent job to make sure that they got the win. So it was great.
Kim will be at the awards night on Saturday night, part of the Hall of Fame inductions.
Terrific. Very good.
Yeah, with one of his superstars. Baltic Eagle.
Baltic Eagle, of course, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, very good.
All right. We got this segment, Morts, is brought to you by Bayswater Mazda. Driving is better in a Bayswater Mazda, corner of Guildford and Garrett Roads, and you know better than anyone else, Morts, how good they are.
Oh, I love my Mazda, and if you love a ute, Mike, I could see you with a ute.
Yeah. What would I do with it, Morts?
I'm not quite sure.
I don't know.
Just picture this. You got the steel blues on.
Yes.
The pink ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Supporting charity.
And you've got the new BT50 ute from Mazda, and of course from Bayswater
That's my
Mazda.
go.
Yeah, I think it is. But seriously, this is a series. They start from 49,500.
And
BT50 ute. Got all the whistles and bells, and at the moment at Bayswater Mazda, buy yourself a brand new BT50 ute and you get the chance to spin and win, and they have got a lot of prizes to give away. So get on down to Bayswater Mazda. As we know, driving is better with Bayswater Mazda. Maybe that could be you in the TV advertising, pictured arm out the window with the...
That's me.
Yep. Pink boots on, yep. That's you.
That's me. I can, yeah. That's certainly...
That's not a vision that people want to leave the show with.
If I was ever going to drive a ute, it'd be a BT50.
It would be, yep. Go down, spin and win a great prize at Bayswater Mazda corner.
And get a coffee.
Corner of Guildford Road and Garrett Road.
Exactly.
In Bayswater.
All right, time to welcome in one of the gurus, or if not the main guru. A few others might get upset about that, but I think he's the main guru in Ollie Cownie. Ollie, welcome to the program.
Right, Mort's great to be on. You might be able to cart all your cash around after Ideal Beach wins all the features in your ute.
Let's hope so. It was pretty good. What did you think of the Sales Classic win?
Oh, it was fantastic. On paper, it looked like it was a pretty tricky draw there inside back row. Obviously, was the only horse on the back row, so did have options, but looked like there were another couple of horses in the race that were pretty handy and ceased to react and bumming up, and he was just way too good in the end. Ideal Beach. He looked to almost have another gear on the line, so I think he's pretty exciting there.
God bless the ultimate driver.
I thought the drive by Junior was outstanding. Just didn't bustle him around the bend, allowed him to straighten, and was too good.
Yep, no, very
great
good.
Drive.
Yep.
Really good drive.
No, very good. Now
we talk about Luke McCarthy being this fantastic big race driver, and he certainly is, and he's one of the best in the country. But Junior's not far off, is he? He's a fantastic driver in those big races.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's a ripper.
I think he's proved it. He's obviously the Australian driving champion. He ran second in the ultimate driver, and Ollie, I think of the 19 drives he had, I think 18 were just absolute peaches. And I think he's got to be very short price favourite to represent Australia this year at the World Drivers' Championship, which I think is in New Zealand and Australia.
You'd have to think so, wouldn't you?
You'd think so,
yep,
You'd have to think so. He's a very short price favourite on just his body of work, 4,000 winners, what he's done as far as his second Australian driver's title, second in the ultimate driver.
Yeah, but of course Ollie's going to tell you that he was only second in that because of his outstanding
Exactly, it was great selections. I was there. There was a lot of pressure, Ollie.
I think halfway through we were sort of blaming ourselves for not picking the right horses, but once we came second in the end, we're like, oh no, we did pick the right horses.
We did very well.
We're geniuses, and Junior was fantastic there.
No,
really
great.
And we're invited back next year, Ollie, which is the main thing as well.
Yeah, it was
that's fantastic. It was just a brilliant few days, and I think every racing club around the country can sort of take a lead from that innovation, and it shows that doing new things, it can be really successful.
Yeah, and the other thing is the wagering was well up. Like it was...
What a great result.
I think 100% up year to year the Friday meeting and 70% on the Saturday meeting. And that's what we want to
it's fantastic.
Create
Michael,
these type of
that's
events.
that's the only real marker there is.
100% off course wagering.
It's not about going there and just having a great time. We've got to see an uplift in wagering for an event like that, and to get that result was brilliant.
Yeah, really good. And there's going to be a refresh of drivers next year. So you got to get the 3 place getters, and then you got to get a refresh of drivers. And I'd imagine you will get Luke McCarthy and Greg Sugars, those and a few others. So Karen Manning, you think has got to be in line somewhere, Morts?
I'll put my hand up to go.
Yeah, exactly. All right, now this weekend, along with Gloucester Park on Friday night, we have Northam, and we have 8 races. The first at 6:15. And then on Sunday, we have Bridgetown, who have 7 races Sunday, the first at 1:40. And also we've got Albion Park on Saturday night, which sees Leap to Fame going around before he heads over to New Zealand. Ollie, have you got a few selection for us at all 3 meetings?
I certainly do. I thought on Friday at Northam, it was a really good little card, and there's some quite handy horses going around there for a second meeting. Not bad at all. I thought the first one I was keen to have a look at was in race 4. Might go around a pretty short price favourite, but he's a very classy horse in Charco Eagle, and he looks extremely well placed in this type of race. There's a fair bit of speed drawn underneath him there on the front row, with local resident Ryder Rose and Mount. But I think Charco Eagle, he's probably a fringe metro type horse, and I don't think anything else in the field fits that mould. Maybe Rakiro Rider, who took out the Village Kids Sprint quite impressively last start, but I think the rest of the field would probably be happy to take a sit on Charco Eagle, and if he does find the front there, I think he'll take no end of catching there, and he is a very classy horse, and he's a 70 rater, and he looks really well placed in this up to 72 race. So I thought he'd be one for potentially the multis. I'm not sure we'll get a huge price on him, but happy to kick things off there and then move straight on to the next race there at Northam on Friday. I thought Ultra Freeway was another one that looked extremely well placed in his race. He has come back fantastic this time in. Since Lang Inwood has taken over as the trainer, he's been really impressive, and I thought his last start effort there behind Franco Ecuador was arguably his best run yet. So he's certainly coming on with each effort there, and he's scored a few consecutive wins prior to that. So he's racing really well at the moment. It really doesn't look the strongest race, this one, and I think he can zoom straight to the front, and from there he's going to be really hard to catch. Certainly the danger does look to be Better's Pride, but draws to the disadvantage of that horse on the back row, and he's going to need to be very good to beat Ultra Freeway the way he's been going in recent starts. So I'm happy to play those as singles if they're big enough prices, or certainly multi them up. And another one later in the card, I wasn't going to tip it, but I certainly do think Manhattan Ruby will be really hard to beat there after beating Pinny Noir in her previous start, and we've seen Pinny Noir go on and win its last start as well. So that looks pretty good form, and I think those three horses might make a good little Northern multi for us there.
All right, so it's race 4, number 6 for the Shirako Eagle. Vance Stampley is usually pretty positive in the way he drives them. Race 5, number 2, Alta Freeway. And in the final race, the informed Corey Peterson with Manhattan Ruby, race 8, number 1. All right, then we move across to Bridgetown on Sunday. And the first race, as I said previously, of a 7-race card is at 1:40. What do you got for us?
Won't make us wait too long here. I'm pretty keen on one in the first race, and it's probably not going to settle in a position you really want to be at Bridgetown. It's going to be back in the field. It's outside back row in Canelo, but it is racing really well at the moment. And that last start effort, although it was beaten a fair way, was beaten at 19 metres. It was behind some nice enough horses in Village DJ, who was a really impressive run there on debut, and then Noble Thorondor, who's handy enough. So I think those horses, that as form lines, they stack up really well for a race of this nature. So can certainly see it being hard to beat, and it should be running on really strongly in the concluding stages. But if it doesn't get home, it's certainly just been beaten by the barrier at Bridgetown there, which is really hard to probably overcome. But I'm hoping that just gets us a little bit of a better price there. And then in race 5, the one that's better for the Northern setup, I thought Skipping Class is very, very fast horse off the gate, can find the front in that race and can hold the advantage to main rivals in Cold Hard Cash, Rebline and Pritter, who's been going as well as it can recently, and Major J, who's outside front row. I think Skipping Class is a pretty good front runner, showed that a few starts ago when leading all the way there at Narrogin. That was the short course, but he has gone well over this trip before, and despite his last couple of starts not looking great on paper, he did do the work in those races, and I think he's more of a speedy horse than he is a tough horse. So I think he can change his fortunes there, land on the front end, and be really hard to catch there, and hopefully he can complete the Emily Savalco double there.
Yeah, it is an Emily Savalco double. You're tipping race 1, number 9, and race 5, number 2. And Albion Park on Saturday night, we get to see Leap to Fame go around before he heads over to Cambridge for their slot race. What do you got for us at Albion Park?
Yeah, I won't be tipping Leap to Fame after the stick you guys gave me last time I tried to do that.
And well deserved, mind you.
Yeah, he did win the race, and you know, like it's better than Bank just nearly the way
I don't know whether I could have found him, Ollie, without
he races.
Yeah, I wouldn't have found him.
So I'll go somewhere else for us on Saturday night. I thought in race 3, My Rocky Romance is a gate speed horse, and he is quite a nice horse, and I think he'll be really hard to catch there. But I was keen to be with the one that's likely to get the run through on his back in Sweet Agenda. I think Sweet Agenda can just follow through at the start, and she's a horse that can over-race quite badly in her races when fired off the gate. So I think this is nearly the perfect setup for her, following through a gate speed horse and potentially getting the last shot at them. She's shown this time in that she's got a bit of quality about her. Last time out, she was not beaten too far behind Riley Rainbow, who may be challenging for the mantle of top mare in Queensland alongside Chinchilla, who's racing there again on Saturday night. So I think that looks pretty good form, and Sweet Agenda can take the last shot up the sprint lane behind My Rocky Romance there in race 3. And then I was keen to have a look at race 7 as well. I mentioned Chinchilla. She really does look the winner of this race, and I think she'll probably win it pretty comfortably. But another mare that was actually chasing her in last start was Cheerleader, and she was a super effort there. She made up good ground out the 1-1 to finish in third in that race, and they went 1:51. So that's pretty sharp time, and they step up to the 2100 here, and she really does enjoy racing at that trip, and I think she might be able to get the run 3 back the pegs in this race, and she only needs to run past Madrigal to finish in the top 2 position, which it's only paying top 2 because of the 6 runners. So I think there's a bit of value around that at the moment at Tab Touch. It's $2.65 for Cheerleader to run top 2, which I think is pretty good value there at the moment.
All right, beautiful. That's Albion Park for us on Saturday night, and really exciting as we build to the Nullarbor. Ollie, you must be excited as well. You've no doubt seen a lot of these horses that are coming over, and plus our very good horses that are going to be locked in by the WA slot holders. But isn't it going to be great to have Swayze, Don Hugo and Catch a Wave here at Gloucester Park?
Gee, it's fantastic. I mean, it was, for a moment there, it was really disappointing that Don Hugo wasn't coming, but as it turns out, that wasn't the case, and he's ready to go, and he's going to try and do the double of the 2 slot races, which would be an incredible feat. But no doubt, Luke McCarthy will have him primed and ready to go for both of those. But yeah, we've assembled one of the great races in WA history. I think nearly Swayze's his resume, it speaks for himself. He's he's been a fantastic horse for Jason Grimson since he took him over, and Don Hugo really has made a name for himself, and we can't forget Minstrel, who was fantastic in that Inter-Dominion, and at Pinjarra the other day he was fantastic, and then on Monday again he was super in defeat, running second in a track record mile rate. So really is shaping as a fantastic race, and I can't wait to be there.
And you were there for Don Hugo's Inter-Dominion victory, Ollie, and you got to chat to Luke after the race, and it'd be good to have.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Yeah, good to have those guys coming over again to compete against our best. And tell you what, though, they'll run into a couple from the Glen Mortimer stable, and they're always hard to beat here at Gloucester Park, Ollie.
Certainly, yeah. I think the locals, they're going to be really hard to beat, aren't they? I think the Eastern Staters sometimes they don't rate the WA form, but time and time again it stacks up really well. So no doubt they'll be really, really hard to beat in that race.
Well, at the Ultimate Driver, Jason Grimson was there and actually said, I thought we're going to have to separate him and Senior, because he actually said, in an interview over the course, that they're not, the WA horses aren't as good as the Eastern State horses.
Wow.
And Senior was really worked up, as you can imagine.
Senior's always worked up.
Yeah, but you can imagine it.
Yep.
And I think Jason, there's got to be no lead there. There's going to be no
favours.
There's going to be no favours coming around.
Yeah.
I mean, Mr. Smarty, how exciting is that? Seeing him come back, he was awesome last time in, and he was only a 4-year-old. So really, they're very, very exciting to see what he can do at 5 years old now that he's had a bit more racing at the top level. So I think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in that Nullarbor.
And
certainly will be.
And we've got to wrap up, Ollie, because we've got to go. But remember when Mortz was giving it to us about whether we go to announce Gary Hall Jr. about our slot? I still haven't seen the JP Pacing slot being announced yet.
Oh, really?
So we should, I think every week now we just should ask.
Have you announced I wonder who it'll be,
Have you announced it yet?
No, I haven't.
Rolling Fire?
Well, it might be Mighty Ronaldo. He's going well.
He's actually going very. He's
Rolling
probably
Fire?
going in career best form.
Ideal Beach?
No, look, we'll just like to take our time on these things, that's all. But no, we'll see.
Yeah.
No, in due course.
Ollie, great to talk to you, and we'll speak to you next week.
Thanks very much, guys. I'll see you soon.
Ollie, one of the gurus.
He is.
The guru.
Did a great job over there at the Ultimate Drive.
He's going well.
Finding the horses.
Going great on off and pacing with Tim and Matt.
And he's had some winners here at Gloucester Park as well. He's been doing very well.
Plenty of winners.
Yeah, really well, which is good.
He's trainer.
Yep, very good.
All right, time to finish up.
Now,
on the podcast.
You would have been listening.
Yes. No.
I think reviewing all the colts from all the different... you haven't listened, have you, Michael? Centre Square.
No.
Don't miss it.
Centre Square. I'm just glad they got a name instead of Bray and...
Bray and Ethan.
Ethan.
Yeah. No, Centre Square. Boys do a great job. If you love...
When they do an NRL one, not that we have a draft.
No, Michael. Look, if you love your harness racing, then there's a very good chance you'll love your WAFL. And if you do, tune in.
Indeed. Centre
and
Square.
You can find it on...
Google Centre Square.
All the favourite...
All your podcast platforms.
Spotify, where you'll be all over that, Michael.
All your platforms. Yeah, I know. Big into podcasts.
Yeah, agree. I think a lot of people are.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Thanks to Bray for pushing all the buttons today because we need them.
We were in darkness for a while.
We were.
And we managed to get through. And thank you, Bray.
Thanks to Bondi.
Yep.
Thanks to Ollie. Thanks to Bomber.
Hopefully we found a winner for our listener.
Indeed. Indeed. Mortz, thanks to you. Thanks to everyone or that person for listening. Until next week, it's bye for now.
Talking Trots with Mortz and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelpline.org.au.